Okay, so you guys find yourself here in this spot. You just finished this combat. You've collected all of these magic items, and if you have one of these items, mark it down on your character sheet.
Have we like officially split up the items, or are we just gonna have in one pile for now?
Yeah, we probably should have done that previously.
Well,
Um,
as a player, I want that ring so bad.
Well, I would say we probably just put it all in a sack at this point, and just because we have to gather up our unconscious
okay, that's fair enough. You guys
friend.
are throwing everything in a sack, and there's these corpses, these elven corpses, and this like hybrid drow spider ettercap creature. The corpses are laying kind of just in the middle of the street. And then you guys notice something.
Is it
Out
a bunch of
from,
ships approaching in the harbor?
yes, how'd you know? Not really. So there's a small group of people that kind of pop out from this way, and another small group that pops out this way. There's a group gathering at the top of these steps, and another group gathering at the top of these steps. Upon further upon a further look, a deeper look, it's the city guard. Shields in one hand, short swords clenched in the other. They look your guys' way. From the group that was gathered along this cliff here, the obvious general of the group, clad in finer armor, begins walking down the steps, and he begins approaching you guys. How do you guys respond to this man approaching?
Yeah, I just turn and face him and step forward. I'm like, how can I help you?
They look to you guys. Dan, are you still in bear mode?
Nope. I believe I dropped that at the end of the session.
And is your bear still summoned?
My bear is still there, though, yeah.
This general, he looks you guys up and down. He looks to the bear and he kind of takes a step back. And then he looks at Teshnik, who is in front of him, down at the corpse of Raiden still breathing. And he looks to the corpses of the other drows. It appears one of them is still breathing. He looks at the mutilated hybrid creature. Then he looks to Eldrin. He hesitates, and then he proceeds to speak. This scene, blood everywhere. This is not welcome in our streets. And he looks you guys up and down. And we have heard startling reports of wizardry. And then he looks to Teshik and to Elgin. And he waits before he says anything, giving a chance for a response if it is wished.
Yeah, I pull out
Of
my
course, there is magic. Why do you think this foul creature is dead? She tried to... I don't even know what she tried to do to us.
yeah, and I'd pull out my holy symbol of Korankor. I'm like, no magic, no arcane wizardry came out of this area. No, this is from us. I did use some of the divine's power, but these foul creatures, I like motion towards the dead drow, like with the exception of that one who has like the bow locked in his glove. Those creatures attacked us, and attempted to ambush us.
Like, I'll go kind of a little bit close to the commander, and I'll just be like, I've never been so scared before in my life. She touched me, and I was gone. It was like I wasn't even here anymore. It was like I everything I knew, everything I loved, everything was gone. I thought it was going to be like that forever. I thought I was never going to see anyone again, and it's the most horrific thing. And this brave paladin struck her down in her place, and I was once again allowed to return to this place. I owe him my life.
Tim, make a persuasion roll with advantage.
Yeah.
Also, Teshik, make me a perception check.
Doing real good here.
Killing it.
Could my snake make a perception check?
Well, nobody would listen to the snake, unfortunately.
No.
Okay.
Okay, the general, he looks you guys up and down, and then he looks to Teshik, and then he looks to Elgin, and he says to Elgin, I'm very aware of who you are, and he nods his head. But unfortunately, with the reports that we've had, we must take you all in for questioning.
Where?
Your reputation precedes you. There is nothing to fear. I will take you to the fort. You will be held overnight and questioned in the morning.
I don't have time for this.
He looks at you, and then he looks to Elgin.
We have
And
important
he says
business.
to Elgin,
We have important business at the Temple of Korankor.
you will be free to go in the morning. I give my word. If your reputation is as true as that of which we have heard, then you have nothing to fear.
I'm waiting for a message tonight, a message I cannot receive if I'm sitting in a cell.
He looks a little confused. He squints his eyes. I'm sorry, but this is how things must be.
This is how
He-
things must
he-
be.
he-
You have rampant
choose
spider
crime.
creatures, men
You
with
choose
men,
crimes.
you have people with rampant spider creatures, people with magical weapons that rip apart flesh and burn your skin off, and then they attack us in your city, and we have to go sit in a prison cell. You're the ones who need to get your shit together.
Do you want to make an intimidation check?
Yeah, sure. Let's use my fucking inspiration on this one. We're killing it tonight, guys.
You see he lifts up like an arc, like half mast, and like he gives like a hand signal, and you see like all the guards, they pull out their short swords like in like one fluid motion, and then he looks back to you guys. I am sorry, please let's not make this even more difficult. We are in the presence of a holy man. And he looks to Elgin, and then he says, it will be but for a night, and in the morning you will be questioned, and I am sure you'll be free to go.
Just glance back at Elgin. Whatever, it's not like a prison cell is gonna hold me anyways.
Kind of sigh, like, very well. And I just one moment, and I reach down and just help our friend out a bit, tossing a good 20 points of health back to what is your name even now? Raiden.
Oh, so you just like kill me for like everything.
Yeah, pretty much 20. I don't even
As
know.
As-
you as you do that, Glinsat pretty much stayed in hiding the entire combat. You notice him sneaking off towards an alley. As he sneaks off towards an alley, he sneakily makes his escape.
As Raiden's rebirth with this holy energy, he'll like his eyes will open wide. He's like, "Oh God, Elgin, not in front of everybody."
And I slap the absolute shit out of him. I'm like, I just hold my finger up to my mouth. I'm like, shh, you're weak. You're weak. You just been through a lot. Don't speak anymore. Not a word.
The guard then puts his hand back up and he makes another signal. A guard then comes forward and he's got this big pack over his back. He comes up towards you guys and he sets the pack down on the ground. And when he sets it down on the ground, he begins shuffling through it and he pulls out the first pair of manacles out of the bag. And then he looks to his general. And then the general looks to you guys and he says, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but formalities, I can't just let you walk in.
You won't give
It's
us
just for the night.
You won't give us the courtesy of
Make a
going
persuasion roll.
quietly. Instead, you're going to. I'm going to use my inspiration here. Instead, you're going to try to force us to look like criminals in a city that we're working to protect. God damn it!
Well, I guess
Oh.
it's good you're getting them out now.
Okay, as Raiden sees Elgin bumbling through his attempt at
Listen here. I can tell my bear to go wander off to wherever it came from and you will never have to worry about it again. But if you try and slap your toxic, filthy metals around my wrists, I will not do so.
Make a intimidation check.
For fuck's sake. It's okay.
I've been rolling for them as well on their end. And you actually won. The guy kind of looks to the manacles and he wrestles with the thought of everything. And as he wrestles with the thought of everything, there's a group of 5 children that come out from one of the alleys, and one of the children steps forward and he's like, they're heroes. We saw it all. They killed the monsters. They killed the monsters. And another one of the kids yeah, I seen it too. And another one's yeah, they're heroes. And then one picks up a rock and he's like, you put those manacles away. And then another one picks up a rock. He's like, yeah, put them away. And then the guard looks to you guys and then he nods his head. Very well. Get out of here, kids. And the kids slowly drop the rocks and they back off. The guard then looks to you guys. He's like, follow me. And he begins escorting you guys.
I grab the big bag or the sack of goodies that we have.
The feral voice demands answers.
real quick, do they give me a weird look or say anything about my whole gauntlet bow thing that I've got going?
They haven't noticed it yet, but yeah, they do notice it, and you see them looking at it and stuff.
I'll just smile at them.
So, it would help if I go to the right page. So, you guys are escorted. So, you guys were right in this area somewheres. You guys are being escorted up towards like practically the complete opposite area of the city. The fort.
Mm-hmm.
So, upon arriving to the knight's fort, there's like 3 clear walls. There's a gate specific towards it. Upon like right in here, like in here, there's a like a small cave system that like wraps around and a few entrances to the side of the knight's fort. You guys go through one of the cave systems. And within the knight's fort, you guys are escorted to the building where they hold people. And upon entering, there's several levels of this prison that they have. There's like a top level of it that's essentially for like holding people, like you guys are being held, and then there's the lower levels where the actual prisoners are held. You guys are on like the top level of this prison. You guys have windows. They're barred though. You guys are all thrown in one room. They ask if you're hungry. They offer you food. They offer you drinks. It's pretty nice for a prison. It's not what you would expect. It's kind of a mixture between a prison, but one that's like, I don't want to say for respectable people, one that's for pretty much people that are in the circumstance you guys are in right now. You're obviously not a prisoner, but they're holding you. And do any of you guys take food or drink?
Yeah.
If they're offering alcohol, I'll take the alcohol.
They are not offering alcohol. They offer water.
I guess I'll take it.
Yeah, they bring in food and water. It's like some beef stew or something, and a pitcher of water, a couple glasses. They shut the door, and they lock it behind you. You guys are in this room for the night.
So they actually like leave us alone in this cell area?
Yeah, you guys are left alone in the cell. It's a closed door. It's not like barred walls. It's pretty much like you guys got like your own room pretty much, but it's locked and the windows are barred.
Well, as soon as I hear like them like closing the door and maybe walking away, I will speak my magic words and my gauntlet will transform back into the glove.
Okay, nice. Is this the night of the first eclipse, or are we the day before the first eclipse?
This is the night of the first eclipse.
Okay.
I'm just gonna keep spamming ritual casting of beast sense on my stone, and I'm just gonna keep sending little stone birds or whatever out into the sky to look for any skywriting, for any messages from the silver scale, and I'm gonna keep doing that until night comes. At which point we won't be able to see the sky anymore.
A little bit before night falls, there is some skywrite. It is not one layer of skywrite, but you notice it is 4 layers of skywrite. So written in Druidic, in 4 different layers written in the sky. We saw the Pharaoh's voice high and followed the silver one.
Have we had a short rest?
Heard every word.
Have
Yeah, we
we?
can say it's actually been a long rest. Heard every word. Her head's piked in the twin strips. 2 moons, her daughter dies by wyverns in the strips. We are where you killed wyverns, only 2 moons. 2 more moons.
You guys, you see Teshik turn into a larger bear than normal and start fucking destroying everything in this place we are being held. I
don't think.
just like legit, just ripping everything off walls, smashing everything.
Okay, so yeah, Deshik turns into this like massive bear and just starts destroying everything. Walls are going down. As the walls go down, the locked door swings open, and as the locked door swings open, there's like 4 guards, and they all pull out these short spears, and they're like, What's going on? What's going on? A bear? How do bear get in there? I don't know. Wizardry, wizardry, wizardry! Sound the alarm! Sound the alarms! Everyone's freaking out, and then yeah, one guy runs out screaming.
Brad, just so you know, Ryden is preparing to cast Misty Step if shit starts going down.
So who has the bag of items?
I was probably carrying it, honestly.
Okay,
that's what I'm
you
saying.
kind of. How is it? Is this bag on you right now?
I mean, I'd have it just sitting down. Like, I mean, I'm not walking around with my backpack on at this
Okay.
point. Because we're just sitting in this room. It's
Yeah.
just suddenly Teshik started freaking out. So does it apply, or is that a?
No.
I think what I would rule here is that you could cast it on me, and if I wild shaped after you cast it, you could maintain it. But I don't think you can cast it after I'm already a beast.
Yeah, I wouldn't think so either.
That would seem to be
It seems to be a bit of a problem. Okay, yeah. So you start freaking out. That's unfortunate. Oh, wait. I can do this though. I just, as soon as you start freaking out, yeah, I just point at you and go and yell, "Fucking stop!" So command. So I guess DC 13. What is it?
wisdom save.
Wisdom save. Yeah. Yep. That I didn't figure that was gonna work. Uh,
So you'd say this to the bear. The bear just completely just ignores your command as if like, you're not even speaking its language. And I'm now basically turned to the guards and I'm giving them like a menacing look of like, get out of my way. Like I'm like basically slowly walking towards them.
yeah. I'd step in between you and the guards at this point. Just like standing there, like fucking stop.
The guards are kind of like cowering back a little bit. Not really sure on how to react. More guards are pouring in. They all have these like short spears, kind of pointed, and they're all kind of cowering back, not wanting to make a first move.
Yeah, I'd turn and look at them, and I'm like, get the fuck out of here.
They kind of look to each other. And then that general who kind of brought you guys in, he comes in, and as he comes in, Corsa Motley is at his side. The two of them walk in. The general guy looks you up and down. Corsa's kind of standing to the side. Sure what to say. She eyes you, Elgin,
Like,
with kind of a confused look.
just one moment. It's like just standing there, like with my arms out, like in front of the bear. Like, fucking, better fucking just stop. Now's not the time.
I roar loudly at you, but I don't attack you.
Maybe you should try scratching behind his ear.
Yeah, you fucking
Wiggles
try
like-
that.
No, I'm good. I'm
Yeah,
good.
that's what I thought. It's like,
The general speaks up. What is going on here? Where did the other go, and how did that bear get here? What is going on? Is this more wizardry?
Oh,
no,
I promise you, this is not arcane magic here.
gods have seen fit to grant this man the strength of a bear in more ways than one.
Make a persuasion roll, and I'm going to give you inspiration since, well, there's a bear.
There indeed is a bear.
I can't always lose.
The man kind of looks you guys up and down. Corsa then looks to the general, and she says, I don't know what's going on here, but as I said to you, I vouch for this one. I put my honor and my name on the line.
Could you vouch for me too? That'd be nice.
She gives you a scolding look, and then she looks back to the general.
Okay, that's fair.
The general then steps forward towards you, Elgin, and then he says, "What do you want? What's the deal? How am I supposed to respond to this?"
I just look at him like it's a good question. I don't know what's going on right now, quite frankly, but I think that the best course of action is if everybody else just backs out of the room and gives me like 5 fucking minutes before the bear goes a little crazy.
Maybe 10.
Maybe 10.
The man looks around to everybody, and then he turns to face all the guards, and he says to everyone, "Everybody out," and he points. And all the guards slowly begin backing off. And then the general looks your way, and then he nods his head, and he looks to Raiden, and he looks back to you. 10 minutes, and he walks out and he closes the door.
And look, you're going to freak out. Right now is not the time. Okay? You either have to calm down for the time being so we can hurry this process up, or we're going to have to find another way to fucking get you to calm down. But either way, this isn't the way we're dealing with it right now.
The bear is actually like, at this point, it's just looking at the ground, depressed. Like it's lost its will to even keep fighting. It's like a sad puppy on the ground right now. Just it hears you, but you can tell it's just not in it's not even here in this place right now. It's like staring off in the corner of the ceiling where there's nothing up there. It's just staring, and that's it.
Yeah. And just walk forward and like kind of gently reach out. I'm like, what the fuck's going on?
I don't think he can talk as a bear.
Thank you. That's
Just letting you know.
okay.
I would after some time, it wouldn't be right away, but the bear eventually would, in like a flash of moonlight, kind of transform back into humanoid Teshik, who's like on the ground with like his like on all fours basically, and his palms touching the ground. He's just staring down at the ground, like totally silent. It's like, is this what you want? Do you want me on the ground? Is this the easiest way for you to kill me? Is this the easiest way for you to kill all of us?
Whoa, that's awfully dramatic.
But no, I want you to explain what the fuck just happened.
Explain why we're here in a prison cell and more of my people die because I'm stuck here. I'm stuck here. I'm stuck in Underdark. I'm stuck wherever I shouldn't be. Is that what's fair? Is that my purpose, Elgin? Is my purpose to always be in the wrong place in the wrong time?
Well, tell me where you need to be right now. And we could have probably gotten out of here earlier, but you were busy tearing the fucking place up.
I needed to be out of here much before now. I could have gotten there. I could have gotten there. I don't.
Could have gotten where?
They're all dead because I wasn't there to protect them. I swore this would never happen again, and it happened again. They're how many are gonna die because I keep failing?
Where do we need to go?
The wyverns. There's not enough of their blood in where we were before. We're gonna paint the entire fucking mountain with it.
See? Was that so hard? And just like knock on the door. Like, everything's under control. If you'd be so kind as to let us leave now.
So, does that happen a lot with him? Does he freak out and turn into a bear?
It's the first I've seen him lose his temper like that. It's a little unsettling.
Yeah, I'm not too big of a fan of being caged in the same place with an angry bear.
Could be worse. At
Yeah,
least he's not angry at us.
that's true. But if we need to, I can fairly easily break us out of here. Not too big of a deal.
I mean, if you're planning the same thing I'm planning, it'll only leave. We'd all be out of here, really. But fortunately, it seems like we have somebody that has our back on this one. As soon as,
Oh, the hot chick?
yeah, the one that you took a contract to murder.
I didn't take a contract. I have a plan. Trust me. It's, if anything, we have evidence against them, right? Against the bad guys. I mean, we could take them out right now.
Well, it seems like our companion has a bit of an issue as it is. Something we need to work through.
And honestly, I'm the underbelly of the Underdark is a lot different than the underbelly up here, apparently.
It would seem.
The from all my years, the people in the same position as that man, they were out to help people, not murder people. I mean, granted, murder's it's an everyday thing in the Underdark, so you know.
So skywriting is hard, and I misinterpreted sort of part of the message. I kind of understand. So So I would okay, yeah. So watch the very last thing I said. That would have been incorrect. I would say we can say it's like the same thing, but instead of saying like where we were before, I would have said we're gonna paint the Twin Peaks with the blood of wyverns.
Very well.
And
I would like to point
I
out the
will
last time
relish.
we fought them,
I will fucking relish in the thought of knowing that the wyverns to which these black skills so preciously cling, that they have to stare up at those mountains and see their precious beasts forever slain, their legacy ended forever. I will do this. I will destroy. First, I'll destroy what they love, and then I'll destroy them. And I will protect the last of the silver scale before any more harm can come to them. This is my pledge. This is all I can think of. I care about nothing else right now.
Well then.
Could you like at least care about me a little bit? Because last time we fought wyverns, it didn't go so well for me. Like at
Well.
all.
You should.
I know many tricks about these creatures. This time around, they're going to need an entire army if they want to even have a chance.
Next time we won't be caught unaware.
And let's hope they don't have an army. Can we agree on that?
How am I going to paint a mountain if there's only a few?
One at a time.
So at that time, the door opens, and the general steps in with his spear out. And when he sees the bear is gone, he looks to Teshik confused, and he sets his spear down like by the door, and he walks in, and then Corsa Motley walks in behind him. And then after she walks in, Sunelvix walks in as well. He just so happens to be here. Why? You don't know, but he's here. So the three walk in. There's a group of guards outside, but they close the door on them. Sunelvix nods his head towards you guys. Corso looks to Elgin, and then the guard examines the three of you. And he walks in, and the door is closed, and he looks to you. Do you have any better explanation for me? He says to Elgin.
As to why a friend here was a little upset.
He looks to Elgin and he nods.
It appears his friend of his, he just got word, was brutally murdered while he's
He
sitting
looks at
here in
Teshik
this
with
cell.
concerned eyes. He nods his head and he says, "Sounds like a matter for the guard. Where did this happen? I will send my men."
The guard that was supposed to protect us from the spider beast, from the blade masters. That guard was too late. That guard keeps the only thing that can protect my people locked up in a cell over quelling matters that don't even matter at the end of the day. That guard? Is that the guard that you're talking about? Are you talking about the
He-
guard that? You can go.
He squints his eyes, obviously very confused. He's like, "What are you talking about?"
This isn't.
If the safety of my people was completely left up to your guards and to your men, I don't think there'd be a single one of my people left. So excuse me if I don't trust what you offer as valuable.
I have no idea what you're talking about. He says, kind of frustrated.
I believe he's saying he's a warden to his people and he can't ward them if he's locked up.
Who are your people?
They're gone now. My people are spread out very far and wide.
He looks to Elgin, eyes squinted, confused, and he looks back to you.
His
And
people
he
live
does
outside
not
the
make a
city.
response.
It's not a matter for the guard.
He then looks to Ashik. His eyes kind of go wide. And then they kind of squint again for a second, and then he says, "Druid." And his head kind of leads forward.
There's some that would call us that. Sometimes I'm not even sure what I am exactly.
He nods his head, and he then says, I'm sorry, I heard about the tragedy that befell your people in our region a few years back. Last I heard, all of you were gone." And he looks you up and down.
They are all gone. Every innocent soul in that village died that day. All that's left is rage.
Definitely a shame. If only our men could have got there quicker. I remember the day they dispatched all of our troops to go and help defend. I'm sorry they didn't get there quick enough. But please, if there's more of your people in danger, go. I'm sure our questioning can wait. And he looks to Lady Corsa, and she nods her head. And then Corsa looks to Elgin. And Corsa also looks to Teshik. And she says to Teshik, have you seen any large mastiffs around lately?
Why?
She smiles, and then she looks to Elgin. And then she says to Elgin, go. And then she looks down to Glenset, and she nods her head, and she turns to exit, and Glenset follows her.
I mean, Sunelvix?
Oh, yeah, Sunelvix, I'm sorry.
As she goes to leave, I'd grab her arm real quick and just kind of like lean in towards her and whisper in her ear, there are rumors of those that wish you dead. Be careful.
She nods her head, and she turns, and Sunelvix follows. And the guard lets you guys exit first.
Yeah, I gather up all the crap we brought in here and head on out.
As you guys head on out, you guys like pass a door that kind of goes down into a lower chamber, and as you pass it, you hear a voice crying out from it in a language you don't understand, but actually, Raiden, you understand it. It is the Undercommon language, and it sounds to be the weapons master who lived. Sounds like he's being tortured.
Oh, I didn't realize the weapon master lived.
He was knocked unconscious. So, yeah.
Raiden, as he hears like the Undercommon and he kind of understands what's going on, he'll shout out in Undercommon, "Suck it."
There's no immediate response, but you're pretty sure the guy heard. You guys exit the fort. What do you do?
I guess I just look at Teshik and like, well, when do we have to meet your friends?
You know, we had an agreed upon time, but my patience for formalities is over.
Well, if that's the case, the sooner the better. It appears as if I have a meeting to attend with the Queen here before too long, so I think we should be able to make a beautiful painting and return in time to talk to the Highness.
As you guys walk through the city, you notice the city is becoming a lot more crowded. You notice like some people of like obvious foreign descent, not like when I say foreign, not from this region. Like they're clad in a whole lot like thicker layers, kind of like if someone from Florida was to travel to New York. While the people in New York, they might be able to wear like thin clothes because it's hot to them. The person in New York or the person from Florida probably be pretty cold to them, so they'd be in
Mhm.
thicker clothes.
Yep.
Kind of see that going on. People obviously gathering in for the arrival of the Queen.
Which is set to happen in 3 days, 4 days.
Let me see. You got about like 5 days before she arrives.
Okay, that's what I was hoping on, that we had time.
You guys are like halfway through this 10-day. She arrives in the beginning of the next 10-day.
Well,
There seems to be a lot of excitement, a lot more than normal, because she usually makes this trip twice a year. But people are saying that this year is special, and there's rumors that the gold egg that she has had for quite a few years now may be hatching in one of her trips this year.
Do we still have the silver egg?
yep.
You do.
One of the many things that I'm carrying at this moment. Yeah. Let's go back to the House of Sin. Look upon the items we have right now. Get ourselves prepared and go deal with your wyverns, Teshik.
I must warn y'all, those items are they're they're very dark. Very
Yeah,
dark.
yeah, I'd open myself up with divine sense to see if I can feel any evil or good energies around.
Okay, let me take a look. Are you like asking in specific to the bag of items?
Yeah.
Okay, let me pull up the list real quick.
I mean, just it doesn't need to be anything more than like just how bad the aura is coming from the bag.
So they all seem, all of them but two items seem to be tainted with darkness. The two items that don't seem to be tainted are the two mithril hand axes. All the other items seem to be like slightly tainted. There is one though that's just radiating with this vile darkness and vile evil, and it's the long sword.
Of course it is. Very well.
The longsword's also very unique. It appears to be maybe like a almost like a bone claw that has this metal layer kind of around it, but it's kind of see through, and you can see like the bone claw in it. I don't know if that makes sense, but it seems to be very natural.
Is there is there a divine temple where we could possibly have somebody examine these for us?
What exactly is it you're looking to like gain? Like the knowledge of like the description?
Yeah, the knowledge of potentially what these items might do.
You would have to consult someone with arcane magic.
All right, I was just checking to see if there were
Make
any.
an insight check with advantage.
23.
23. You reflect on dealings you've had in the past with individuals, and you recall the conversation you had with Sonovix of what he is able to do, and he spoke to you of how he is able to identify items.
Yeah. So we're just like paused for a moment, like as I just pause in the street, like open the bag, look in it, and I ponder on it for a little bit, and look back at the tower we just left, and I was like, "Fuck."
Did you forget something?
They were leaving as well. It appeared that Sonovik was leaving with Hail Athena, and they were going towards Hail Athena's house. Manor.
Corsos?
Yeah, Corsa. I'm sorry, I'm getting names mixed up all day.
No worries. Well, we need Sunelvix if we're going to know what we're dealing with here in this bag in order for us to then more
I mean,
detours.
I know a little bit about that stuff. It is, part of my people.
Do you know? I like point at the sword and like what this does.
Not exactly. I know that thing is fucking evil, though. It's not good.
Well,
And I know it's very, very old.
there's a strong aura coming off of it, and our little friend can tell us what these things do before we go and try to use them to Bob Ross a mountain.
Oh, I think I've heard of this bopper.
Yes, he's a low key painter in this city, but he does put on some demonstrations in the town square on occasion.
Mm. Yeah, I suppose, but getting really tired of having to deal with these gnomes.
I think we can accomplish this quickly, Teshik, if that's all right with you. A quick detour.
You have 1 hour.
Well, let's make it happen then. I make my way towards Corse's Manor in hopes of catching up with Sunelvix.
You guys make your way to Corse's Manor. Let's see. You guys approach. The door is closed, but you can knock, and I assume you do.
Yes.
Upon knocking, someone you've never seen before opens the door. It's a pretty large guy. He's clad in splint mail armor. He looks you guys up and down, and then he says, "How may I help you?"
I'm looking for Sunelvix.
And may I ask who you are?
Elgin.
He nods his head. One moment, please. And he closes the door. You guys are left standing outside. A few minutes pass. And then Stelvix opens the door and he smiles. He waves you guys in. The tall individual, he's standing to the side, kind of in the lobby. And Sunelvix looks to you guys and he says, "The lady has hired a little bit of muscle and a few servants. But please, come. What can I do you for? I hear you were searching for me. Lady Corsa has given me abode while I wait for the queen to arrive."
I need you to tell us.
Oh, look at that! Look at that! And he points up to the long sword on the mantle, and then he looks to you and he kind of looks sad, and then he leans in. It was her father.
I know, we returned it. But
No. And then he kind of puts his hand next to his mouth to kind of hide what he's whispering. The hilt. And then he winks.
yeah, we're not going to give that to her.
He nods his head, and then he says, "Well, I'm sorry cutting you off, Mike. I'm just always sidetracked. What can I do you for?"
I just set the sack down and open it. I'm I need you to tell us what all these things do. Quickly.
Oh, he opens the sack, and he's like, "Oh, I heard." He's searching for words. He goes to say something multiple times, and he looks up at you guys, but he just loses his words, and he quickly closes the sack, and he sets his hands down on it, and he looks up to you. He just looks scared. How? That's all he says. How?
We
Where's
killed people for it.
I don't know how you tell us what things do. You're the one that tells us how things work.
No. He then looks to Raiden. You guys stupid. Are you stupid? Are you stupid? And then he looks to the bag, shaking his hands. They're gonna kill you now. You're gonna die.
What else
And he
is
puts
new?
his hands up to his head and he shakes it. The drow you killed. He looks to Elgin. These were the drow you killed, and he puts his hands down. And one of them lives, and he's in the prison. He then puts his hand on his head. I know you guys killed drow, but I did think these were the drow you guys killed. And you want me to identify these? Normally, this would be an honor to identify these, but I'm kind of scared. And then he looks to Raiden, and he's like, "Those devil elves are crazy." He looks back to you.
You know I'm one of them, right?
He looks back to you. Yeah, you're crazy.
Look,
Yeah, I'm the crazy.
Sunelvix, we're short on time right now. There's other things that have my attention that I need to deal with. So if you could please help us to know what these things do, what we're dealing with, that would be great.
He puts his hands on his head and he looks up to the roof. Let me think. Roll a 1d4.
1.
He pulls out a bag and he sets it on the table, and then he like opens it and he pulls out 1 pearl. And he looks at the pearl and he looks at you. He's like, I can do this, but I can only do it to 1 because you see this, and he holds the pearl up to you. For me to identify one of these items, it will consume this right here. But I only have 1 of these, and I only have 1 of these spells prepared, so I can only do 1. If you were to give me a day and get me more of these, I could identify the rest. But I can do 1 today. And it'll take 1 minute. 1 minute for me to cast it, and then I'll have to examine the item that you choose.
I look at the other 2. And I point to the longsword. I'm like, does anybody have any objections with finding out what this thing does? I think this could be either the most difficult thing to deal with, or I mean,
Rhino will just give you an elf wink.
Teshik.
I mean, does not care at all.
Okay, well,
I don't say that, but that's the look that he gives.
the longsword then.
He nods his head. He's like, "This is going to be fun." He grabs the blade, and you see he closes his eyes when he grabs it, and he kind of squints, and he lets go of it, and his eyes go wide, and he shakes his head. He's like, "I'm going to regret this," and he grabs it again, and like you just see his whole body just kind of quiver, and he picks it up, and he goes over to a counter that has nothing on it, and he sets the sword down on it. And then he grabs the pearl that he has, and then he begins casting some ritual, divine or arcane energies kind of flicker about. You guys haven't seen or Elgin and Teshik, you guys haven't seen a lot of arcane magic cast. Most of the magic you guys have been exposed to has been divine. There actually may be a chance that you guys may not even have ever seen arcane magic. But actually,
Teshik would have because of the sorcerer.
Yeah. Gominaba Habatapo Denofe.
Yeah, I've never seen
arcane magic's very rare. And just the energy that it gives off while the spell is being casted, like this weak, this like small level, like arcane spell, like it just gives a different energy, and it doesn't feel the same, but yet it does feel the same. It's just a different feeling. A minute goes by, and then after the minute, you just see Sunolvix. It's like he's in a trance, almost in a different place, and he's just like glued to the weapon. A few minutes pass by, and then he comes out of it, and he looks to you, Elgin, and he shakes his head. He's like, I don't know about this. And he huffs for a second. Give me 1 second, and I will copy and paste the description.
Copy pasta. So, Teshik, buddy, any of this stuff filling your fancy? I think one of these amulets might work for you. You are in half elf.
I really don't know what Teshik would say. He probably just. I'm not even sure. I don't think Teshik would say much. He would just look at your items and just shrug, I guess.
He's like, it's okay, I'll put it on for you. Don't turn to a bear and eat me. And then he puts it on.
What is this amulet again?
It's just like insignia. It'll have like the rap call insignia, and it gives you like magical benefits.
I don't know what they are though. Is that the thing?
Yeah, I don't think we know. Actually, I think I might know, but I'll wait.
So yeah, Sonolvix looks to you, Eldrin. He's like, I don't know about this. It's evil. I have heard tales of its evilness, but nothing like what I just seen. The blade, it has a mind of its own, and it just draws itself towards its victims. It gives protection. It gives protection to its wielder. It can communicate telepathically if it desired, and it can grant that ability to its wielder. It can function on its own if it so desires. It gives strength to its wielder, but it has a very strong will, a very strong lust. And if it's not met, it will drive one mad. And it expects its wielder to essentially be wielded by him. And he looks very concerned as he goes over this with you.
Yeah, I sheath it and just kind of put it on my back. If the time comes and it's needed, then
When you grab a hold of it, you feel it. You feel it. Michael, which insignia did you put on Teshik?
Hold on, I'll roll a D2. Or a 2, so Forgans.
Okay. Tunnelvix then looks to you guys. Is there anything else?
I don't think you can exactly help us right now with anything else, so it should be all.
You know,
Well, I guess wish us luck.
Well. Luck wished. And he smiles awkwardly.
Well, let's go deal with your wyverns.
Yeah, I guess it's time to suit up, ain't it?
Yep. So you guys head out.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay.
And
You guys cool to take a quick break?
yeah, sure.